Welcome to my video on corresponding sides and angles of similar figures. So, congruent polygons have exactly the same shape and size. They're corresponding, which means they're matching, angles and sides are congruent. So that means this side corresponds to this side corresponds to this side corresponds to this side, and then of course this angle goes with this angle, and so on and so forth. And we know all the angles go together because these are rectangles and they're all 90 degrees. The symbol, and it's a little wavy line with an equal sign, means congruent to. So similar polygons have corresponding sides that are proportional. And remember, similar is different. Same shape, but different size. But they're still proportional. And corresponding angles that are congruent. So the angles are still congruent in similar polygons, but they have a different size. Similarity does not depend on the position or orientation of the figure. Okay, so what we're going to do is identify the corresponding or matching parts. So, a strategy that you can use to do that, especially if the orientation is different, is to line up the corresponding parts. Now, if you look at the picture below, it says rectangle ABDC is similar to rectangle JKML. Notice it's not in alphabetical order because it goes A, B, D, C. You kind of go in order around the figure. And then JKML. So what we can do is we can line them up even though they have the same orientation here. We'll line them up so I can show you the strategy. So this means that angle A is the same as J because these are similar figures and their angles are exactly the same. So B goes with K, D goes with M, and C goes with L. So angle A corresponds to angle J. And since they're both oriented the same way, you can tell that by the picture. They're in the exact same spot. Angle B goes with angle K. And once again, you can look at the picture or line them up here. Angle C goes with L. And angle D goes with angle M. So the symbol for similar is just a wavy line. Now, AB corresponds, so what side does AB match? Look at the blue here. Matches with JK. And we have to put the side symbol over the top. And then CD is the purple, goes with LM. And we can also look here as well. Notice they started with CD, so now I got to go LM. I can't go ML because they started with the C. So I've got to go with the letter that they start with in exactly the same order on the other figure. AC goes with JL. And once again, they're both red. And then BD, which is the green, goes with KM. So if they're oriented the same way, you can just look at the picture. But if they're not, you can line them up. And you can certainly line them up even if they're oriented the same way so that you can see it as well. All right angles are congruent and match. The congruent symbol, once again, is the wavy with an equal sign. So it's a similar symbol with an equal sign. This is congruent, this is similar. Okay, let's look at the next picture here. And it says triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. They're oriented the same way, but let's practice lining it up here because they're not always going to be oriented the same way. And we can either look at the picture, since they're oriented the same way, or line them up like this. So it says angle A goes with angle D. They're lined up, and also look, they're in the exact same spot. B goes with E. They're lined up, and they're both at the top here. And then C goes with F. They're both in the bottom right. Okay, and this symbol right here is the angle symbol. Okay, so when you're matching up angles, you always need to put the angle symbol. When you're doing sides, you need the side symbol, which is a bar over the top. So AB corresponds to DE. Notice it's not ED because I started in the bottom left and went to the top. So I got to start here at the left and go to the top. That's why it's DE and not ED. And also you can see by lining up. AC, which is the bottom, goes with DF. And I need the side symbol over the top. And then BC, which is the side, goes with EF. And also, you can see that BC matches with EF here by lining them up. Okay, so now let's look at angles. And we said similar figures have congruent angles. So if we know they're similar, which it tells us right here by the similar statement, then we can figure out the angles. Since the corresponding angles of similar figures are congruent to each other, we can find missing angles of similar shapes. So here, AB, CD, and then EFGH. They're oriented the same way. So we could just look here. Angle E matches up with this angle here. So if angle A is 80, that means angle E is also 80. And angle F, so find angle F, matches up with what angle over here? It matches up with angle B, which is 115 degrees. So let me show you also how to use this, because the next example is going to be oriented differently. So we were looking for angle E, so we know it matches with angle A. So if A is 80, then that means E is also 80. And let's B and F are the same, so since we're looking for F, I find B, which is 115, so that means F is 115. Now we didn't have to do the other letters, but let's look at them. C is 95, so that means G is 95, and it is labeled here. And then D is 70, that means H is also 70, and it is. Okay. So let's look at the example below. If similar figures are oriented differently, we can match up corresponding sides and angles first. I mean, we can certainly use that strategy all the time, but if they don't give us a similar statement, then we can't line up the letters. So we have to match it up by the orientation. Okay, so angle A goes with D, B goes with E, and C goes with F. So we're looking for angle A. So we know it matches with D, and D here, this is really difficult to see, so let's write this in. It's 50 degrees. So if D is 50, that means A is 50. And angle F is right here, which lines up with angle C, is 58. Now, because these were both 72, then you know that F and C match. So if you didn't line them up, you would have still been okay. Okay, pardon that interruption. We almost made it all the way through. That concludes our notes on corresponding sides and angles of similar figures. I hope you have a great day.